It's time to go inside Florida State football. This is the Jimbo Fisher Show. The Jimbo Fisher Show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery, proud sponsor of FSU Athletics, the Florida Department of Transportation, drive sober or get pulled over, the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico Peoples Gas, Camping World and Good Sam, your one-stop shop for everything RV, Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories, The Gem Collection, finest quality jewelry, extraordinary service, and the best possible prices. SunTrust, the official bank of the Florida State Seminoles. Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe. Hello and welcome to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Florida State gets a victory over Boston College. Tom Block and Coach Jimbo Fisher. Coach, you knew going in this was going to be a tough battle. It turned out that way, but credit your team. You end up 48-34 victors in a hard-fought battle.
Really was. Knew going on the road up there is a very tough place to play. They're a very physical football team. I mean, they were physical. They could run the ball, a big back, run the ball downhill, and we knew that. We're going to have to take some of those runs on. They had a couple new formations for us we adjusted to after the first quarter, did a real nice job of really kind of holding them down, and then offensively we got going and scored 4, 5, 6 times there right in a row and got control of the game, and then they battled back. But kids fought, good road victory. Got a lot of room for improvement, especially in all 3 phases. I keep saying that, but we do. And that's, you keep saying when you're going to improve. Well, we're still a team that's evolving itself into who we are, but at the same time we're winning games, and we can keep pressing that button. I like where we're going.
Well, and you don't necessarily draw the script up this way. You're not going to say, okay, let's go ahead and fall behind 17-3 on the road and see what we can do. But as it turns out, you did get to see how your team would respond in that situation.
Again, I mean, kept a lot of it poised, overcame things, understood how to win and know how to make plays and come back in the game, and very proud from that aspect. Just got to continue to get better.
Florida State gets the victory over Boston College. The Noles finish up the first third of the season 4-0, 2-0 in the league with both wins on the road, so that's not insignificant. We will look at the highlights, and there were a lot of highlights to look at in this game, particularly offensively. So we'll get to the first half highlights when we continue right after this on the Jimbo Fisher Show. Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Florida State on the road in Chestnut Hill. Game number 2 on the road in the ACC. You already got thrown into the fire at Pitt, but this was an opportunity against BC. Gorgeous day for football, and obviously an important football game, an opportunity for your team.
Very critical game. One was a conference game, but it was an interdivisional game, which it even makes it, I call them double whammies. I mean, you got to win those. You got to win your interdivisional games to have a chance to win your conference and your side of the conference. And going on the road, again, that's 2 road games. We've played and scored a lot of points, and kids have done a nice job on it. Anytime you win on the road, it's a great win.
And you knew BC with a week off was going to give you their best shot. I mean, you're prepared for that each and every Saturday.
We got to be. We're at Florida State. That's what they're going to do. And I tell you what, their kickoff guy never gave you a chance. Ever get a little play action? Wish the tight end be a little more physical right here. If we get this ball up and over, there's a big gain there for about 25 or 30 yards. And on 3rd down, we bust a protection up front early. They chose a little different twist and blitz, and they got to us. And now this is critical. We hit a line drive punt. You can't cover it. Now again, they dropped the ball. That happened twice in the game. The quarterback did it once too, and the ball bounced right back up. And hey, they were making their own breaks. They were playing hard and fast, and we didn't allow that. Now they're running the counter play down inside. Great job by DeMarcus Walker. I thought he played a good ball game. Telvin Smith again played a very good game. E.J. Levenberry got in the ball game early there. We had somebody get hurt right off the bat. E.J. filled in really good. Nice job again, Terrence Brooks, who played well in the game. Good physical tackle. Jalen Ramsey played well in the game. Now they bounced. They're in a 5-man side here, which is very unorthodox. You almost never see them. We didn't get adjusted to that for a time or two. Something totally new. They got a few yards off that. Now here they run a sprint out pass. Our DN's got to lock onto this. PJ actually tried to pick him up on his own. That's not PJ's guy. Almost made a play on the ball. They had a nice trick play with a couple throwbacks to the tight end, and our defensive end's got to hold that ball down. Now we get the ball back. Jameis, we got a option right. We had some things inside, but he saw KB one-on-one, liked what he saw, went over the top, and KB made a nice play. Had 2 or 3 nice go routes on the day. Here we get a nice little play action. Come out, really nice catch right here by 80, get his feet down, who I thought Rashad had a really nice ball game. We're answering up here, very proud of the way we're doing. Hit a nice run up in here for about 5 yards. Devontae Freeman, I thought, ran hard on the day. Bobby Hart there making a block. Nice job. Now then, so we had a penalty. We jumped off sides, which was created a 2nd and 5. Now we get back to 2nd and 10. Now we have to throw the ball. Now we're back to 3rd and 7. We're 2nd and 10. Now we're 3rd and 7. And right here, We missed a slant route inside. Got to get rid of it just a hair earlier. I think we had it. And nice try. We end up getting our field goal again. Roberto Guayo comes in, hits a nice 40-yard field goal. But we come back, answer with points, and score 7-3, get our feet back on the ground.
Guayo continues to get off to a terrific start for you.
Yes, he does. Nice kickoff here. Then we get pretty good coverage right here. Nice tackle right there by Jalen Ramsey. For the most part, they had one in the second half that got out. Otherwise, we covered well. We had 2 missed assignments on the other one on a twist game. Here, Timmy Jernigan, who I thought played an outstanding game. Timmy and Eddie Goldman inside really played well for us. And Desmond Holland, who really come in and give us some quality snaps and got a sack. Now here, we lost the continuity of the rush in the pocket. Jacoby and them chasing. They got to squeeze the pocket, not get upfield past the quarterback. We let a third down scramble out. DeMarcus Walker, we lost the edge right there a little bit. But we got the backers got to scrape over the top on the counter right there. DeMarcus played it right. The backers got to get over the top. Again, nice throwback screen right here. Safety on this one actually has got to play the tight end. They had another scheme trick play in the game and a nice play. Good job, Christian Jones running it down. You can see Eddie Goldman separating that line of scrimmage, knocking it back. He and Desmond Holland, I thought, and Timmy really did a nice job up front. Very physical in the game. Here they are, throw a flat route. We got to play. Telvin, who's a little aggressive, overruns the play. The guy makes a cutback and we get in. We should have had that tackled right there on the 4-yard line. Now we get a nice play, get a nice run right here. Devontae Freeman gets back inside, get a nice 5-yard run. Good blocking by the left side by Cam Irving, Josue Matias, Stork. And I'll tell you, Chad Abrams, who's playing a great ball game. All right, here we go. Down the middle on a third down. He pulled the trigger a hair late, saw him open late, could have checked it down, and we got the first down. Got a little bit greedy right there. Again, we get a punt, a short punt. We got to get that ball out a little better. And here they hit a nice stretch play. We got to squeeze it down. Brooksy misses a tackle. Then great tackle by P.J. Williams. And they got momentum of the game. That's the thing when you go on the road. It's scary when the other team gets momentum. Now here they are on a sprint out. We checked into cover 2, but the corner sank too deep, and we should have had to play dead to rights, and we just played a bad technique. Here they're running the counter back up inside. Now Lawrence gets his helmet knocked off him. Boston College came ready to play. And now we end up getting this nice Desmond Holland, who's held the point extremely well in this game. We hold him to a field goal, 17-3. Now this is a critical drive in my opinion. You're down 2 scores. If you give it back to him and then come back, you could get down 3, and that could be trouble. Now, here a nice naked, get about 4 yards. Jameis did a nice job in the pocket, securing the ball and taking advantage of what they gave him, whether it was scrambling or not. Now they get a pass interference call. They ride 80 all the way out of bounds. We had him one-on-one. We were going to the go route. Got us down. Nice double move right here. We had double moves on both sides. We found him on a little snake route, and we get 80. Got the safety one-on-one, and Rashad Green, who had 2 touchdowns on the day. That was a huge drive for us. Because you're down 17-3, still only down 2 plays. 2 plays, the game's tied.
Right. And
the guys understood that. We come back, kept our poise, and got to 17-10. Now we're 1 play down. Here they go. They got us on the field. They thought they had 12 guys in the huddle. They ran them out. We were trying to run our guys off. They snapped the ball. And, I thought we had less substitute, but we'll get that worked on. Nice job right there by Brooksy. PJ. Job now. We scramble. Now we're keeping the integrity of the pocket. Now we're keeping our rush lanes. There's Timmy Jernigan, Jacoby McDaniel both squeezed the pocket, did a real nice job forcing him up. And then we get off the field. We get a drive, get the ball back, run a little play action. They get pressure and get the sack on us, Jamie. We got beat right there. They had a good pass rush now. We knew they had coming in. They had pressured the passer. We get a little screen route right here to James Wilder on 3rd and 10. Miss a block on a cut block, and we get about 8 and don't get the first down and got to pin it back. But now Casey gets a real nice punt this time. We do a nice job. We got a tackle right there, and then we lose we're not fanning out on our punts right, and we're going to have a lot of work on that this week. This is ridiculous. Now, we usually don't make those kind of mistakes on special teams, and they had a couple big returns, and we usually win that hidden battle, and that's one of the worst cover games we've had in a long, long time. Nice job there by Telvin Smith, and there was Chris Casher on the play, squeezing the pocket. Oh, almost a second interception, which would have been his first for the game, was P.J. Williams there. P.J.'s emerging into a heck of a football player now. Now we go down 1 score, we get the drive. Guys downfield are covered. Now Jameis is doing a nice job of being patient, just checking it down to his drags and his outlets, and Rashad Green again making a nice play. We come back up, find Nick O'Leary in a little option route. Nick does a nice job in the game, got banged up and came back in the game, played a nice ball game for us. Now we're moving the ball around. Tight ends, receivers. Now we're getting Kenny Shaw the ball. Now Jameis is seeing the field. We're getting in a rhythm offensively, moving it down. Get a little play action. He steps up. They're covering everybody, and that's the thing. When you go cover, you got to remember Jameis is athletic and can beat you with his legs. And he's making great decisions with the football right now. Now check it right there's a guy. I'm telling you, playing great football for us. Chad Abrams, Had a touchdown catch on the day. Caught another flat route, had a nice run, blocked extremely well. We get a play action, we're trying to go over the top. Jameis checks it down to his outlet in the flat. There's Chad Abrams again. Chad bobbled that ball, and I think it was his first touchdown ever in his career. And Chad, in my opinion, has as good a hands as we have on our football team. Now look how we're scrambling for the ball here. We keep calling timeout, trying to get the ball back before half, trying to force them to punt it. And they're trying to run it, so we're trying to get the ball back. We're on a roll. It's tied up 17-all. We have no timeouts here, but here's the bad thing. We get a little over route, we're done. We get beat right here. That's the thing. You could have fumbled that ball. Jameis did a great job of keeping two hands on it. And then we're backed up, so we don't want to take a chance. But I'm going to tell you, if we make one block downfield by Kenny right here, this ball is out the gate for about 60 yards. And we get about 10 or 15. We get a third down. We got a little corner route, and they get pressure on the last play. We get beat. And then we have our scramble rules. They turn it into a snake route and take it upfield. Jameis sees the one-on-one. This is really not a Hail Mary. It's built into our scramble rules off the play. And Kenny Shaw makes a big-time catch and a big-time play. And to play the kind of half we did and then still come back out 7 points ahead is tremendous. I mean, great poise by our players. Give us a lift coming in at halftime. Now we got to get our bearings, get our feet right, and then come back out and get the second half. But again, that's the last two drives of that half again that we scored points going into the half. So that's 4 straight games and was critical.
Yeah, and we'll see when we get to the second half that you're doing the job starting the third quarter too. But let's go back to this play, Coach. A lot of the college football world was talking about that play in particular because of the athleticism involved, and it is the big play the first half brought to you by Gem Collection. Elaborate a little bit more on the scramble rules and then just on the ability that Jameis has to make that play.
We had some corner routes and then trying to get a shot out there and get a guy one-on-one with the safety, and we're going to run with the ball last play. And when they did, Jameis got pressure. So your rules are if you're away and he scrambles the right, you got to come across the field. If you're short, you go deep. If you're long, you come across to the middle or back up. And you try to find holes when they scramble to open it up. Well, Kenny started up, the safety went with him, and he saw it, and Jameis saw him and waved him deep because he knew he had him in the safety one-on-one last play of the half. And he lays it up, gives him a chance, and the key was getting the ball to the end zone. You know what I mean? Getting the ball out there long enough to the end zone. It's something that we do every day in practice. I mean, not for that last play of the half, but we work scramble rules all the time. Because, and you have an athletic quarterback, the pocket breaks down, things like that happen. And we were able to execute what we did in practice, and it was a huge play of the game, a huge momentum swing.
Certainly, and you said, to play the way we had played in the first half and have the lead, I mean, obviously your message was still pretty firm when you got in the locker room.
Oh, it was very firm, that we had to go out and control the second half and play, but also that we had taken a good shot, sustained it. Now let's go play our half.
All right, 24-17 at intermission. Second half highlights still to come. I told you there were a lot of highlights in this one. Florida State up by 7 at the break. We'll continue with more on the Jimbo Fisher Show in just a moment.
Buckle your chin straps. It's time for Inside the Helmet, presented by Napleton Infinity.
Demonte McAllister. This is my red shirt senior year. I play defensive tackle, and I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Pressure coming from the corner and also up the middle. Demonte McAllister hit him.
First football game I ever played was when I was 9 years old. I played for the Power Bucks down in Tampa. And I actually remember the first play. I was fullback, wearing number 34. We had crossbuck 32. And the running back goes across, and I'm supposed to go across the other way and get that ball. And I stood there because I was scared. And he took the ball and ran for a touchdown. But that was my first play when I was 9 years old, 99 pounds. I was a Florida State fan growing up. It was I always had covers. My mom always talked about them, especially Warrick Dunn and Derrick Brooks. My heroes growing up was my mom, definitely, of course, because she was, I seen what she went through when she was coming up, and just raising 4 kids on her own and everything like that. I mean, she was definitely one of my heroes. But probably Simeon Rice. I really liked watching him when he played for the Bucs. Mike Allstott. Warren Sapp, I remember we used to go out there to the one Buck place and watch them practice, and I'd be like, how's Warren Sapp moving that fast? Like, he's so big of a, I would say, he's so fat as a person, and he's moving so fast. When I get time away, I like to play my Xbox, especially FIFA. It's the best sport ever, especially soccer. I love FIFA. I'll play it all day, all night, if I could. When I was younger, probably about 8 or 9 years old, I remember I had a free kick, and I had the biggest foot on the team, and coach was like, take the free kick. I went to take the free kick, and when I kicked it, it went straight to the goalie, like a straight line, and I was like so embarrassed. Built my eyes and my hands. Like, I can put my eyes on something and like lock target really fast. You know, normally they're like, I even surprise myself sometimes, like I'm in a game because I do it so much, and when I like try to get in somebody's chest or, you know, get in the blocker's chest, I do it really fast and without even noticing it. The first time I ran out of the kennel, I had chill bumps. I was scared, I was nervous. You know, that itchy feeling, like I can't wait to get out there and play, and like, it was a great experience, especially at the crowd and everybody roaring and like the war chant and everything like that. It was such an experience for me. On game days, I just try to, you know, keep calm and, you know, just go over my assignments in my head and like just listen to like soft music, you know, classical music, something, you know, that's easygoing for me, because I don't like to get all riled up and stuff like that, because I feel like you can get lost, you know, in the loop. Well, I just hope I don't like injure him. Basically, like I hope I don't like end somebody's career. Like I remember in high school, my freshman year, I was playing a varsity and was in a playoff game, and I hit this one kid and he tried to throw the ball. You know, as he was going to the ground, he broke his arm, and I felt so bad after that. I was like, dang, I caused that. I felt, you know, it's just not a good feeling for me.
Welcome back. Florida State with a 24-17 lead at intermission, Jimbo. First time this year that the opponent is going to get the ball to start the half. But nevertheless, you always stress how you come out of the gate the start of the third quarter there in terms of being a big key point of the game.
It really was very critical. They get a great return, and we lose momentum early. Now the defense did a tremendous job of playing a great red zone defense. Now we got a penalty, had them off the field, and could have had a 42-yard field goal. Instead, we got a late hit on the quarterback. Not the best play for us, not a very intelligent play, but they end up getting a short field goal. But they played good red zone defense to hold them out of the end zone. Right here, we have two guys for the hole, and we just don't hit it. We go in the wrong gap, and we have them pinned. It's going to be inside the 20-yard line. I mean, that's a critical error by us. They get the ball in the flat. Nice play right here. But we got them off the field right there, and we get a late hit on the quarterback right here. Man, and it's close, but we don't need to do that. We have to play better. We have to play with winning in mind. Not, you know, we want to make plays, but good coverage there again by P.J. Williams. They're running a little draw on third down to get a little closer. Nate Andrews, who in there played a great game, got in there and had his first interception of his career, and they get a field goal, and they get momentum. This is critical here because they go out and get momentum back in a 24-20 game. Jameis, we start off hot. We get a play action. We're going down. He hits the vertical right down the middle of the field. He sees the middle of the field so daggone well. Then we're coming off. Right here's the play. To me, we have to answer in this drive. It's 3rd and 10. He has two guys right in his face fixing to sack him. He throws that ball so early to KB, and KB makes a great catch. What a great throw and catch by those two. And to get the first down so we can come back and get points. I thought that was the most critical play of the second half. 32 again, has a nice run. We had a nice hole inside. Cut back, get a little play action right here. We wanted Nick. We had Nick on him, but we couldn't get. They had two blitzers coming off the flat. He dumps it, gets it out, gets it to Chad Abrams for a second catch. Nice game. We get a nice little run play right here by Devontae Freeman, who I thought ran well in the football game. Boy, look at the emotion. That guy loves to play football now. He really does. There's Trey Jackson. We get a little play action. Great route here. Great throw and catch. Good job of getting his foot down in bounds, number 80. Rashad Green. Great throw by Jameis. Good protection. Carlos Williams in the game, who I thought played well. And that was critical for us to get the momentum back after they come down and scored. If we went out and didn't score there, we could have been in. We could have had our hands full now. Now we're up 2 scores, 31-20. Now I have to start to cover the kicks. Armand, good job by Reggie Northup. At least it made him change direction, cut back. And that's what we didn't do in those at opening kickoff. And good job here stretching out Timmy Jernigan again. Telvin Smith, DeMarcus Walker. Good job right there. Terrence Smith in the ball game. Thought they played. That's the best game Timmy played this year, I think, in my opinion. Right there, they lose it. Nice job. They don't think get the edge. About 3 yards. Nice play by Terrence Brooks, keeping contained. Made a nice play on the sideline. They get a nice little power play up inside. Demonte McAllister, who I thought played a good football game, who's been banged up and bruised up, but I'm going to tell you now, playing good football. Good job, Jameis. Now we're mixing in the bubble screens. Now we're mixing in the run. Good block out there by KB so Kenny could run the ball. We got a nice hard stretch action right there. Nice run by James Wilder up inside. Now we're running it, we're throwing it. Now Carlos, we get a quarterback pull read right there. Jameis ends up with a 9 or 10 yard. Now we're pulling the ball, handing the ball, throwing it to screen. Now we get a little quarterback run. If we get this scoop block here, this could have been a big play. We got the first down, 2nd and 1. Got about 5 yards on the play. We're moving the ball down the field. Get a little play action. We get a little rail. We have Carlos up the sideline on a linebacker, and they get interference. It's always a mismatch because he's so fast. Even though he didn't catch the ball, he created a 15-yard penalty. Now we get the stretch play back into it. Boy, just keeps moving. Look at that pile move forward. 5-yard gain. Nice run down inside. Nice. Now look at him hit that hole. Now look at how the pile goes forward, down the 1-yard line. Again, great run by Carlos Williams. Great blocking up front by our tight ends. And Alvin, a good job by Trey Jackson right here. We're getting almost in the end zone. We're getting up a hair short. We missed a cutoff block on the backside. Now we come back with the same play. We get the ball in the end zone. Carlos gets in, breaks the plane. And now we're up 38-20, which puts us up 3 scores. And we're moving that football. We're doing a nice job. Now again, good kickoff coverage right here. Great job, Marcus Legway. Right there, he had great leverage by 20. Joyner on the play. Legway makes 2 or 3 real nice plays on the kickoff coverage team. Did a nice job on the Eddie Goldman getting pressure. Dumped it in the flat. Jalen Ramsgate there a little quicker, but makes a nice tackle. Here they are on the sprint play. Now we're covering. Now we're going to have them 3rd and 12. There's no sense in that, Christian, who's usually a great player for us, did not make a smart play right there, and they get an automatic first down. And this allows them, that swings momentum. Now they get now instead of being 3rd and 12, they can run a play action pass. And our defensive end is supposed to be tackle the guy after the fake right there, ran right by him. We saw it, had him play to knock him out of bounds. We let him run right by us, and they hit a down pass. We should have been 3rd and 12 off a penalty. So this is an ill-advised mistake by Kermit, and Carlos should have made him stay in the end zone. Carlos did not do that, and both those guys are at fault on that. Now we get the ball back, though. 38-27, we come back. We got a little crossing route over here, but then he sees KB's one-on-one matched up, so he works the backside, and Jameis sees one-on-one now. He's going at it. And we got the ball down the field to KB, getting the momentum. Every time they kept answering up, we kept swinging the momentum back and getting it. Tough run right here. They did a nice job. Now we get a play action. We get a little pass right here. Jameis doing a nice job of stepping. See, he's keeping 2 hands on the ball. And tell you what, Jameis is a guy, you say, well, he don't look like he's that fast, but he is. And he runs away from guys. He's beating them with his arm, beating them with his head, beating them. Great. Watch Demonte right here. Boom. Runs over the safety. Great run right here down to the 8 or 9 yard line. And we're moving the ball pretty good. We're down there answering up. And we're going to play it, and we missed the block. If we make that block, KB missed the block. If he makes it, 89 walks in the end zone. And we're up. So we end up here, then we take a shot, 2nd long, just off of Nick's fingertips in the end zone. A little tightly covered. They made a good play. Now on 3rd down, they drop 8 guys. There's really nowhere to throw it. There's no holes. Jameis does a nice job here, tries to pump fake, but knowing we got a field goal. If we get a field goal out of that, we're still up 14, up 2 touchdowns. Great job and poise of him and not forcing the ball. Again, Roberto comes in. And believe it or not, that's a tough field goal. When you're about the 3 yard line on that angle, on that hash, that's a very tough angle. And now we're up 41-27. We get a nice kickoff across. Now we're starting to cover. There's Marcus Legway again. Now our kickoff coverage is really picked up. We've cured the problems. We've fixed things, and we just don't need to let that happen again. Now here they are. They're getting pressure. There's P.J. Williams. Great job. Gets the pick. We're up 2. This is going to put us up 3 scores, 21 points. Put that ball away. Don't be dropping it down there. And go hand it to the official. But nice job by P.J. We're up 3 scores. Now this is a critical one. They pop, a power play where we didn't squeeze it from the outside. And we're up 3 touchdowns. We need to get a stop there, get the ball back, get another score, and put the game away. But instead, we let them go. Nice tackle right here by Eddie Goldman, Demonte McAllister. Nice job of getting to the quarterback. And they run the ball right here. 4th and 1. And we lose Contain. We had Contain out there. We had the corner on the edge, and he bounced in, took a block on, and we should have spilled over the top of the backers, and we didn't get it done. And they get the throw. Same play. Same guy had him, our defensive end. We got to get that covered. We got to. Twice in the game, we made the adjustment on the sideline and then come back and be daggone if they didn't hit it again. Now we're down here again. Jameis doing a nice job. Could have laid that ball up. He didn't see it down the field on the scramble, but again, Jameis doing a nice job of just managing the game. Felt pressure, stepped over, spun back around, keep his poise. Nope, nothing's there. Try, now get out of bounds. Just keep getting first downs, eating clock, and we're moving the ball. Now here, this is the one mistake, critical mistake he makes in the game. We got the double move over the top. We snapped the ball before they got on the field. They didn't have everybody on the field. And so he saw KB open. Instead of laying it over the top, he tried to stick. And if he lays it over, we're walking in the end zone, and probably the ball game's over there. But now we leave him in the game. Desmond Holland gets a big sack. Defense gets 2 big stands right here. I thought was very critical in the game. Nice job right there by Telvin. Got a big critical sack and make it 3rd and 7. That makes it 4th and long. You're going to see Nate Andrews get a very critical interception in the first of his career. Catches that ball. He was running. He had a smile on his face coming to the sideline.
I bet he did.
And then it was a great job by him. And then they get a late hit right here, hitting our guy out of bounds. We get up to midfield. And what I was disappointed in here, though, we had 3 runs. We get a little play action. We got to block the end. Now, Jameis needs to eat the ball here. This is the 2 knucklehead plays he made. And we need to eat that and just get the game out of the way. But Steve and his staff did a great job. They got a heck of a football team. They're very physical, well-coached football team. But great for our guys. Proud of our guys going on the road and getting a very quality win.
48-34 the final as you come away victorious. So you saw a lot of Jameis in there. He had to run more in this game than he's done so far.
Well, they blitzed him and we hurt him. Then they went to medium coverage and he still hurt him. Then they went to max coverage and dropping everybody out where they weren't rushing. So he would make the decision, scramble up, get a first down. He just kept taking what they gave him. And it was very intelligent. I think he ran for 70 yards in the game, threw for 320 or 30 or whatever it was, and had an outstanding ball game.
Go back and look at the big play of the second half brought to you by Xfinity. And, Coach, this is one of the early possessions in the third quarter and a big play on a key 3rd down to get a ball out under pressure, under duress to Kelvin Benjamin by Jameis.
It really was because they had scored the first drive. So it's 24-20. They got the momentum back. We moved the ball to midfield, had a 3rd and 10. We go to the play. We got some pass protection that broke down. But it's hard 3rd and 10. They know. They laid their ears back. They came at us. And he's standing there, and he throws that ball before KB even makes a break. KB turns. Ball's on him. He makes the catch. But a big-time throw on 3rd down, which now allowed us to keep the drive alive. Then we go down and get a score and go up 11. And when you get momentum swings, then the other team just bounces right back. Man, it don't only take the momentum. It takes your life. You go, daggum, when do I, what do I have to do to beat these guys? And it takes more out of you. And that was, to me, that play allowed us to keep that drive, score points, and then get the momentum back. And I thought it was the most critical play of the second half.
Your team goes on to win. You finish September perfect at 4-0, and of course, we've got a big game coming up this week against Maryland.
Yes.
We'll talk about the Terrapins in just a little while, but Florida State victorious over Boston College. Stay with us. There's much more ahead here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
Let's go behind the scenes of Seminole football with this week's Seminole Insider, presented by Hyundai.
You got 60 minutes to do it. Some of y'all played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. Some of you played 50, 60, 70. It don't matter. Whatever your role is, what your contribution is. If you're on the sideline, keeping guys in the right mental frame of mind. Whatever it is, we do it together as a family. Love, trust, and believe in each other. Play for the guy beside you. It's that simple. This isn't something fancy, guys.
Today we're joined by new running backs coach Jay Graham. And Coach, welcome to Tallahassee. How has it been getting adjusted to a new city, getting adjusted to a new school so far?
It's been great. You know, the fans have been great. The city of Tallahassee, it's been great for my kids. I have 4 kids, and 3 of them in school. So, you know, they've really enjoyed making new friends.
So many times you hear how important family is, not just because it's your family, but they're your support as you go throughout the football season. Talk about how much of a family man you really are. I know we were talking about before we went on the air how much your family really does mean to you.
Well, every chance I get, you know, I love to spend with my kids, and my wife has been great through this whole transition. So, you know, pretty much when I get home, it's about spending time with the kids.
Growing up, obviously football was a big thing for you. Talk about your influences growing up. Why did you want to play the game of football, and how did you become introduced to it?
Well, my dad, he played football. He played at Virginia State. So growing up, I always wanted to play sports. I started off actually running track because I have 3 sisters that all ran track. One of my sisters, Kim Graham, she was an Olympic gold medalist in the '96 Olympics. So just growing up around track, and you know, my love for football, you know, kind of came along as that grew. So, you know, I just always wanted to play the running back position. Got an opportunity, played well in high school, went on to college, and played 6 years in the NFL.
Where are you originally from, and how much did that upbringing really kind of influence your decision to play football?
I was born in Durham, North Carolina, and then I moved to Concord, North Carolina for high school. So they had the Concord Spiders, so they had a lot of high school tradition there. So I played running back there and then moved on and played at Tennessee.
What initially attracted you about the coaching position, especially just kind of influencing young men not only on the field but off it as well?
Just playing in the NFL. Over the years, a lot of young guys come in as rookies, and you kind of end up at your position coaching guys up. So, I started feeling like, I could be pretty good at it. There was a lot I had to learn. So when I first got into it, going back to Tennessee and being a GA, I had to just learn all the ins and outs of watching film, X's and O's, and all those different things that go into it, and the biggest thing, the recruiting side.
One thing Coach Fisher always talks about is having that professional mentality, about knowing that you obviously want to get to the league. But every one of the guys you coach eventually wants to get to the NFL. What advice have you given them so far about having that professional mentality in really everything they do?
And that's the biggest thing, just every day trying to be, striving for perfection, whether it's on the field or off the field in the classroom, trying to do things the right way. I think that's the key to getting to that level where you can play professional football, but at the same time, knowing that sport, NFL, it doesn't last for long. So having that degree and all those different things, and setting up a second career is key.
How fun has it been for you so far? You come in and you inherit James Wilder Jr., you inherit Devontae Freeman, two of arguably the best running backs in the entire country.
I mean, it's been great. And the thing about those guys, they're such a tight-knit group. It was great that they accepted me, and I just feel like I've been here for years, just every time I'm around them. There's never a dull moment, around those guys. And, Ryan Green, with the addition of Ryan coming in, it's great. That the enthusiasm in that meeting room, the enthusiasm on the practice field has been great.
For you in your football career, whether it's playing or coaching, has there been one defining moment for you that you look back on and say, that was my one defining play or maybe a defining game in your career?
Oh, man, that's difficult. Probably back in '95, we played against Alabama. It had been 9 years since we beat them, and having a chance to have that experience and be there for that moment and play well in that game was something that I will always remember. So, but I'm looking forward to some more of those moments.
Yeah, talk about your mentality as a coach. Everybody has a different kind of style they bring to the game, whether it's more quiet, whether it's more boisterous. Talk about your coaching style and what you want to impress upon your players each day in practice.
Just have energy. I think that's key. And enjoy it and love the game and love every part of the game. Love being out there on the practice field. It's not just about game day. So, I talk loud on the practice field. I wouldn't say that I'm a yeller or anything like that. I talk loud. I like to have enthusiasm and energy in everything we do. So that's the key to what I do on the practice field. But at the same time, we always concentrate on the little things, the little coaching points to make the play successful.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming in, and best of luck throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show as we take a look ahead now to the Maryland Terrapins brought to us by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. And Coach, Maryland, first of all, is unbeaten, and second of all, unlike a year ago when you faced them, they haven't been depleted of quarterbacks,
No.
which was the case last year where they just had a terrible year. But C.J. Brown's been really good so far.
Yeah, he's been great. You look at his number, running, throwing, creating plays, his legs, his zone reads. I mean, just every way you can possibly make him. Diggs, the receiver, is a great ball. Ross is a great back. I mean, DeLong is another great guy they're getting the ball to. I mean, they got tons of skilled guys blocking well defensively. I think they've got 17 sacks and 35 and a half tackles for loss or something like that. I mean, they got Whitfield. His guys got, I think, 6 and 5 in each of those categories. I mean, they got players, and they're having a great year.
And they also have had an off week to get ready, and you
Yes.
know all about that because you just went through that with BC.
Exactly right.
But I mean, that's the way the schedule shakes out. But I mean, it does allow them to have a little bit more time to prepare, which means you
No
guys
doubt.
got to be on your game too.
You'll see a couple things you haven't seen, and they'll be up on your tendencies even more so. So you have to be aware of the things you're doing too. So I mean, it's a cat and mouse game, but they'll be rested and ready to play.
12 noon kickoff at Doak Campbell Stadium. Now, when you look at your situation, you come back after every game. Obviously, you grade tape, figure out what needs to be corrected, and you've said all along that this team has a lot of room for improvement. So, as you watched the tape from the BC game, did you feel better about what you saw and what you could get fixed going forward?
No doubt. I think special teams is one thing. Our punt coverage teams, which we've been outstanding on. we're very poor, and we have to get that fixed. And we, even with the punt itself, but in the coverage lanes and missing tackles, and very uncharacteristic, very undisciplined, and I don't like that. And had one kickoff return, we had 2 guys miss a gap, and otherwise we're going to have it inside all of our kickoff. It would all been tackled inside the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, but we gave one up. So 3 critical returns and hidden yardage, which we cannot have. And I think defensively, there's some things we got to fix, but it's not as critical. It's 2 or 3 guys that we guys got to get their techniques a little bit better and coach them a little bit better, and we'll do a better job with that. And offensively, just be more consistent. But what I'm looking for is consistency. We didn't play with enough consistency in that game, and that's what disappointed me.
Well, you'll get a shot this week to go consistent from opening kick till the
Yes.
final horn at the end of it. It'll take 4 quarters against an unbeaten Maryland Terrapin team. Remember, 12 noon kickoff at Doak Campbell Stadium, so you're going to have to get started early, get out and pack Doak as Maryland rolls in unbeaten and in the top 25 this week to take on FSU. We'll step aside, come back with some final thoughts right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
Welcome back, Seminole fans. We're joined as always by the head chef of Florida State Athletics, Joyce Simons, and today we're going to be making everyone's favorite. If you're a red-blooded American, you love steak, you love beef tenderloin, commonly more known as filet. We're going to be focusing on lean meat and what that does from a nutritious aspect.
Correct, yeah. Today I have a great portion of steak for you. It's a filet. As you can see, there's really no fat on it. It's a very lean cut. So with those other cuts, maybe like ribeye, where you can see a lot of the white marbling around it, all that fat's gone, and it's going to leave you with less calories and a better portion of steak. So today I'm going to show you how to sear a steak, cook it in the oven, and then get maximum flavor out of what you have. So I'm going to turn on my pan, put a little oil in it, and then we're going to season our steak. So we have this great filet, and we're going to put a rub on a plate, and then we're going to do both sides of the steak. So just shake it off. We want to make sure it has great coating on each side, because this is all the flavor that you're going to get, and you want to have as much as possible. This rub has some salt and pepper in it, so you don't even have to do extra salt and pepper on your steak.
That's going to create that nice little crust on the outside too. If you put that on there, doesn't it? It creates kind of another layer, another flavor layer, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. So something we're going to do with our steak is, we're going to put it in a pan with some oil. You're going to hear it sizzle, and some people are afraid of the sound of sizzling, but all that sizzling and browning is flavor. And you really want to get all the brown you can on your steak without burning it, and that just adds tons of flavor. So we're going to sear it on both sides, and then right before it goes in the oven, we're going to add some mushrooms to our pan. And they're going to soak up any extra fat, and this is an easy way to roast them. And then we're going to put some thyme in. And thyme adds all the flavor you need to the mushrooms, and the mushrooms will soak up a little extra fat from your filet too. So once our steak is done searing and comes out of the oven, you'll see the mushrooms are really nice and brown, and that the steak has browned on both sides really well. Then we're going to add 2 pats of butter into it, just like that, and they're going to melt over our mushrooms. We're just going to add them, and that'll be really all the fat we have in this dish. So you're going to have a great plate with some steak and some delicious roasted mushrooms. So once our steak is done and our butter has melted, something I like to plate it with is some carrots. Today we have some artisan carrots. We have a yellow and a purple, something a little different to add color to your plate. We're just going to take the steak. You can see it's nice and juicy. It's browned on both sides without burning. We're going to put that down. We're going to whip around our butter a little bit. At this point, you can take your thyme out. We'll just discard that. And then we can even use your tongs as a spoon. You're just going to set your mushrooms on top of your dish. It's going to have tons of flavor with a little bit of fat. Do you want to try that?
Absolutely.
See how it tastes?
Finishing it off in the oven really does help too, because I mean, you can almost get that really nice seared texture on the outside. And
Yeah.
then when it's still nice, and you can take a look at that. That is still nice and moist on the inside.
Yeah.
Even when you put it in the oven. Nice big piece, obviously.
You can control your time, and you don't necessarily have to have a grill to have a great steak.
That was a fantastic steak. All that flavor goes right into the steak. That
Yeah.
seared on the outside. That was perfect.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to do it with mushrooms if you don't like. You can do it with whatever vegetable.
That steak's just got great flavor. That lean meat, the grass-fed beef, there's nothing better than that. Thanks again. This is an awesome recipe, and of course, you can get all the recipes, all the great information from Joyce Simons right now by visiting Seminoles.com. We'll see you back here next week.
Welcome back, Coach. Just a quick moment for a final thought here, but you start 4-0, you play 1 week at a time, but this is a big one because obviously if you could get it, you'd be 5-0 and you'd get to your bye week. Not that you can look
Yes.
ahead to that now, but it's a significant game for you.
Very, very much so, and it's again interdivisional game, and those are even, like I say, double whammies, more critical. Undefeated team, great opponent, going to come in with a lot of confidence, a lot of players, very well coached. I mean, we are definitely going to have to play our A game, and we have to play much more consistent and correct the problems which we have in all 3 phases and get better.
Good news is you don't have to travel for this one. You get the home fans in the home
No doubt.
stadium, and folks, we want to see you out there this weekend at Doak Campbell Stadium. We will have the highlights of the Maryland game coming up next week, and we'll see you then right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
The Jimbo Fisher Show has been brought to you by the Florida Lottery, proud sponsor of FSU Athletics, the Florida Department of Transportation, drive sober or get pulled over, the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico Peoples Gas, Camping World and Good Sam, your one-stop shop for everything RV, Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories, the Gem Collection, finest quality jewelry, extraordinary service, and the best possible prices. SunTrust. It's never been easier to switch to SunTrust. Visit suntrust.com/switch. Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe. Join us next week for another in-depth look at Florida State football.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game!